unlikely of moments become dear to us. Sifting through the ashes of our history, slowly discover that sometimes memories are our deepest possessions.
Please kindly stand again for the general salute. Thank you.
Hey! Salute! Salute! Salute!
The parade commander now will invite the reviewing officer to review the parade. Thank you. Please be seated. Our guest of honor, reviewing officer, the acting president of the autonomous region of Bougainville, Ame Ukapatna Logo Parade, is being escorted by the Deputy Commissioner of Police and Chief of the Bougainville Police Service, Mr. Francis Tokura, and the parade commander.
Good morning and welcome to this historic occasion. The inaugural Bougainville Patriotic Day, today on the 1st of September, but we celebrate on the 2nd. We stand united in celebrating our shared vision and unwavering commitment to the independence of Bougainville. This day marks more than just an event. It signifies our collective journey towards self-determination, where our hopes, dreams, and aspirations as a people take center stage. It is a day for us to reflect on the sacrifices made by many and to renew our dedication to the path ahead. As we gather here today, let us remember that the strength of Bougainville lies in our unity and in our shared belief in the future we are building together. Our independence is not just political aspiration. It is the embodiment of our identity, our culture, and our right to determine our destiny. Let us use this day to inspire each other, to remind ourselves of the resilience and courage that we brought us this far, and to look forward to the bright future that awaits us all. I extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone present today, and to those online invite Now tok-tok logistic journey from Bougainville. Online ilusim yumi finish. And to all who have contributed to making this day a reality. Together, we will continue to strive towards our goal of a free and prosperous Bougainville. Thank you very much, and God bless. And now, we welcome you again. Thank you.
In 1975, there are others today gathered in many parts of Bougainville to celebrate this day. We share a desire to acknowledge those who have gone before us in nation building. We seek to develop and build a future from what transpired throughout Bougainville on the 1st of September 1975. not many of us are left who experienced the day 49 years ago. Next year will be 50 years. Try to picture 50 years ago here in Bougainville in 1974. I lived in Section 11, Arawa. My husband, late Moses Hutjena, was the Chief Executive Officer who had been envoy for the Bougainville Chiefs from 1972 to the House of Assembly pre-independence, negotiating for a separate self-government arrangement for Bougainville in the decolonisation process. He was subsequently appointed CEO and moved to Arawa in September in '73. I had been teaching here at Hutjena and I transferred to Arawa High School. Our home was teeming with people living and visiting with us from around Bougainville. I was teaching both visual arts and guidance. Many of my ex-students may remember the dual curriculums taught up till 1975 independence. Our home became the hub for young leaders to meet and discuss their visions, development ideas, strategies in establishing the Bougainville administration in preparation for self-government. 1974 became a year of transition from colonial rule, where the Australian heads of administration departments worked hand in hand with our visionary Bougainville administration teams to build self-governance, with separate statehood provision for Bougainville. The Office for Bougainville had moved from the original Arawa McKillop plantation homestead on the banks of the Tubucus River into the whole top floor of the new Arawa White House. Chiefs and leaders of Bougainville streamed to this office to consult and offer support to the Bougainville District Government. Chiefly Council from North, Central and South Bougainville, in consultation with Michael Samari and his team of leaders in the Papua New Guinea House of Assembly. The Kiops, or colonial district offices at the time, were being phased out as capacity and education produced localisation replacements. For 3 previous years, there had been a cooperative and inspiring change taking place. Australians and Bougainvillians were working alongside each other, fully endorsed by Michael Samari as Chief Minister in the fledgling House of Assembly in Port Moresby. We were originally to share the 16th of September as the date for both a Papua New Guinea flag and a Bougainville flag to be raised. Both flag designs were chosen from competitions held by the colonial government, and a prize of Australian $100 was awarded to the winner of each. I got the $100. Early 1975. The United Nations had been waiting for the House of Assembly to table their draft constitution. A special clause had to be written for Bougainville, and this had been overlooked. 6 months earlier than the September date, my husband Moses was urgently sent on a Fulbright scholarship to America, to the Pentagon no less, where his itinerary was mapped out and a PhD student assigned to accompany him to gather examples of similar constitutional arrangements of self-government, such as in the Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Hawaii. Moses was on his way home in early May 1975, ready to consult and write the necessary clause, when the United Nations at the same time set a final date for Papua New Guinea to table its constitution, being the 1st of June 1975. They needed 3 months to examine the draft constitution. Any delay would alter the date set for Papua New Guinea's anticipated UDI 3 months later on the 16th of September. May 1975. Without consultation with Bougainville and without waiting for Moses' return or thoughts of inserting an organic law after the 16th of September, a panic reaction by PNG changed the course of history. 3 years of establishing self-government for Bougainville was cancelled on the spot out of concerns for delay on Papua New Guinea's date. Bougainville response was unanimous to proceed, not cancel. As one whole people, Leaders flocked to Arawa to support the leadership decision made by District Commissioner of the time, Dr. Alexa Sarre, and Bougainville planner Leo Hannett, to officially declare Bougainville's own UDI. I was in the village in Haku awaiting Moses' return. I was in church when the leader, Hana Tato of Haku, came to announce the news to the whole congregation at the conclusion of the service. Imagine the shock we all felt. From being honoured leaders formally appointed to the task of nation building, our leaders were now branded rebels and secessionists. Everything they were doing right was suddenly now wrong. A network of leaders began travelling throughout Bougainville in determination to proceed with the promised replacement of colonial administration to have our own Bougainville government. People were freely taking up offerings to pay for the expenses of our leaders to travel. June 1975. The flag was in production in Sydney. Moses picked up the bundle of completed flags en route home from Hawaii, and he returned to the village to fetch me, where I had been painting towards an art exhibition to be held on my return to Arawa. Our return, we found everything very tense. The Bougainville office had been cast out from the White House and taken over by former colonial masters. All salaries had ceased, an interim office was offered and gladly accepted at Tunuru Catholic Mission. Our homes were staked out by spies. We were under constant surveillance. Our telephone was tapped, our personal mail opened and read before we could access it at the post office. My home was ransacked while we attended my and Moses' sister Jessie's wedding. What did they expect to find? July 1975, Moses and Leo's history lecturer, who coincidentally had taught them all about UDIs and the significance of the Universal Declaration of Independence, happened to be our guest to open the art exhibition. He came from the University of Papua New Guinea, and he tried to convince Moses to cancel Bougainville's plans. He told us we would be branded secessionists. Australia would turn its back on us. Australia had promised its own population that the Bougainville mine would finance PNG independence, and they couldn't let us go. But our leaders believed they had no choice. The entire population of Bougainville was waiting for independence. Their motivation, Moses and Leo and Alexis and Father Momus and their staff, John Dove, James Togel, Thomas Annis, plus the chiefs from Bougainville who were then appointed to make an executive. They were Hamal Tato, John DeKenny, Anthony Anugu, Clement Dana, Asurai Golovai and Aloysius Noga. They all felt they had an obligation to serve Bougainville and deliver on the promises of the future, as it had been set up over the years. Their genuine motivation was later borne out by the well-attested success of the provincial government that followed after the 1976 crisis and lasted well into the 80s until the next crisis. So let's go back to August 1975. Our leaders researched and urgently reviewed their options for self-government. They were rebuffed at every suggestion internationally. So when doors closed against them, there was no thought to destabilise the region, but the best decision they could make was to declare Bougainville a republic. And it must be done before the new nation of Papua New Guinea came into being, so as not to affect PNG's own UDI in any way politically. Leo Hannett wrote an article in the Urawa Bulletin, number 96, dated the 1st of September, called Only the Beginning. And I'd like to read an excerpt of his voice. This is what was published at every raising of the flag around Bougainville on the 1st of September. Only the Beginning by Leo Hannett. On September the 1st, we, the people of Bougainville, are proclaiming independence. By taking this decisive step, We are only practicing this God-given right in every human being to determine his own life or the collective life of his people in the way we think it is best for ourselves and our children. By the same token, in taking this step, we do not wish in any way to look down on the people of Papua New Guinea, whose friendship and association we cherish and will continue to cherish. It is also proper to say that paying allegiance to our own leaders in Bougainville, we in no way wish to cast reflection on the quality of leadership in Papua New Guinea, especially the leadership of Michael Somare. At this juncture, it is fitting that we should remind ourselves as Bougainvillians that this is only the beginning of hard work, for the political decision that we have taken to rule ourselves will not by itself bring in a millennium or a paradise on Bougainville. It merely heralds the stage in our human growth as a people to make every effort in working together in bringing about the realization of these ideals that we cherish. The effective realization of these ideals can only be measured and can only be brought about by the willingness of our people to continue to work together. And then he goes on and explains those ideals. So the flag was raised and became the flag of the Republic of the North Solomons. Bougainville declared itself peacefully. There was no intention to disrupt Papua New Guinea's own independence. The name change for North Solomons was a deliberate attempt to associate Bougainville with its true geographical, cultural, ethnic and historical identity. It embraced the atolls and all parts of mainland and islands of Bougainville. It stated clearly a demarcation as being a land to the north from the neighbouring Solomons, and to not confuse their separate political structure either. On that day, the 1st of September, even more than today, the people of Bougainville gathered in hundreds and thousands at key venues across Bougainville. They had spent 3 months, June, July and August of 1975, preparing for this. I was amazed to find that many people had walked the mountains from the west coast for 2 to 3 days to reach the government station at Wakanai, when Moses and I experienced a crowd so thick on the oval that the tractor we came down the hill from John Kunkum's house in could not get through to the flagpole. It was blistering hot and steamy, standing room only. But the joy and cheering and celebration was life-affirming, overwhelming. People burst out singing praises to God, a sound of freedom I will always remember. Similar reports came back to us of the declaration of flag raising that took place elsewhere. Father Momus carried the flag to Bruin. Dr. Alexis Sarre, with other Bougainville district staff, including John Dove, who I thought would be here today, joined with Chiefs Raphael Neniku and others at the Urawa marketplace because they were denied government land or the office in Urawa. Moses and I and our 3-year-old son set off in our small tinny fishing boat from Lolaho to take the flag to Wakanai District Station the day before. In stormy weather, there were no roads then. We were rescued at a Rigor plantation. Moses was horrified to find the plantation indentured labour on strike. He assisted several plantation management neighbours, and they talked long into the night, and they put down a bloodbath. They stopped it. An impending riot of Highlanders who believed that we would have a bloodbath on a UDI. The plantation managers were so grateful they rowed us in convoy to Urawa, rebanded our boat, and on the 1st of September deposited us to the chiefs at John King Kunkum's house on the hill, and their goodwill should be remembered. Leo Hannett flew with the flag by MAF to Tinputs to the government station, district station there, and Thomas Annis took the flag to Buka district station, which was right here at Hutjena, and where the monument has just been dedicated by our acting president, is as close as we can get to the real spot of that day. So people want to know about the story of the flag itself. There are over 150 entries for the Bougainville flag competition, and I attribute my winning design to the significant choice of traditional symbols. I responded to the chief's tutelage, including late Chief Jonathan Hutjena and his son, my husband Moses, and other Haku chiefs around, who sat with me and we consulted. I asked them questions. What are the symbols of authority? What do you mean by, what is your visual language? And what are your colours and why do you choose them? And combine that with my own visual art study and design, and even my study in Girl Guides of flag heraldry to pass Girl Guide tests as a child. The flag has since become a symbol of unity, as it was to be officially negotiated and retained as the flag of the North Solomons province from the peace talks at Rovo Island in May 1976. It was raised again behind the blockade by DIG and DRA, and yet was retained by BTG and all parties to the conflict, thereby symbolically reuniting the people and ex-combatants in our 1998 peace talks in Berlin and then at Lincoln. It was featured at the 30th of August peace agreement signing and raised for the reconciliation government and then the autonomous Bougainville government in 2005. So this flag has a history. It's not my history, it is your history. Papua New Guinea also continues to recognise Bougainville as united beneath this flag and international bodies. To understand the meaning of the flag, I like to explain it in 3 layers. There's a geographical layer that celebrates the identity, the beauty, the people and the resources, the colour scheme, the blue sea, the white beaches, the green mountains, the black people, and the culture where we choose red and white as the main symbolic colours for our clans and totems. Then there's the political layer, which satisfies the UN Blue Water concept, which is a unique and independent concept where we tick every box on the United Nations decolonisation list of what a people must have in place to be able to do a UDI. And that means to be recognised as a unit of people, to recognise each other, to be able to communicate with a common language, to have a common identity, future, history, means of economic survival, traditions, etc. It's a long list. Then there's the cultural layer, where we've chosen 2 symbols. The cap, or in Haku we call it the paraha, the symbol of authority worn by chiefs, whether queen or chief male, and is worn either on the head, like a crown, or on the chest, or on the back, to symbolise authority. The upe in the centre recognises the uniqueness of Bougainville. Nowhere else in the world has the upe. Not only that, but it is a symbol of becoming mature, of aging, of coming of age. It is worn by youths, males, as we all know, while they are learning to become adult. So when they display it eventually, they are stating they are now mature and responsible adults. So it's a postmodern appropriation of a cultural symbol, which I didn't even understand postmodernism when we did it, but we just knew that it would reach the hearts of the people. And it represents both men and women, because women are part of that whole maturation process, and they too have the tuhu, or different ways of wearing the red and white symbols in their cultural capes, etc. The upe has been contentious, and yet it is loved. On every shirt it's misused appropriately, on wrong things and right things. The blue the geographical independence does not disrupt any other people, and it also represents our marine resources. We are a sea people, and we are set apart in the ocean of the world. The white cat, the mother of pearl shell disc, also symbolises the reefs and beautifully carved turtle shell incised on top of it. Those triangles, although they're green to represent mountains, they're also the Hutjena, or the warriors. That is a visual symbol in a lot of the carvings. And then there's the black, the ethnicity of our people. The flag belongs to you. It is 16 days older than the national flag of Papua New Guinea. It is your stake in the ground. It is the day a nascent nation was born. And I quote a scripture the Lord gave us while we were in locked negotiations at Burma, from Proverbs 22:28. Never move an old boundary marker that your ancestors established. The aftermath of the 1st of September. After the 1st of September, we were evicted from our homes and sought protection in the mountains above the town, where the Nasioi people of Pabari and surrounding villages brought our little family food and kept guard with bows and arrows until May of 1976. I was pregnant with our second son, Torian, through this time. I would be smuggled into town in the pick-and-over rubbish truck for my MCH monthly check-ups at the Arawa Clinic. Leaders were flying into Arawa and Tunuru weekly from a roster of places with collections of money to keep the outlawed government functioning at Tunuru. Those months were awe-inspiring, yet peaceful attempts to develop were hampered by rumours of invasion. Bougainville attempted to present the UDI to the United Nations office in New York, and they were not allowed through the front door. So John Tiosen and Father John Momas returned unsuccessful. However, 1976, Moses with other leaders took part in a peaceful protest here on this Hutjena field. The crowds assembled on the lower edges where I'm standing now, and they were advancing across towards the police station, which was up in that corner where the current training centre is. And the women and children were in the front lines. Moses was leading the way across the field with others, and as they neared the police, were lined up, and they were armed, and they were holding a line, thin line. And suddenly they were surprised by 2 truckloads of men from mainland, Bougainvilleans arriving, I think from Silao and Kunua. They had misheard the message and came armed themselves with bows and arrows and spears. They never shot, they were just hopping off the trucks. They hadn't fired anything, but the police panicked and fired tear gas and rubber bullets wildly into the crowd to drive everybody back. Moses had seen what was about to happen and turned to face the main crowd to stop them from advancing any further. He threw out his arms to shield, thinking of the children, and he was hit by a tear gas canister at point blank range on his right shoulder. It took many months to heal that wound. Others had rubber bullets in their legs and were carried off to hospital. So to my knowledge, that incident here on this field was the first battle for independence. Everyone went crazy. Nobody fought anybody, they just knocked the police station over. That's what I was told by the kiosks. I wasn't there being threatened. So defensive operations went into place. People began digging trenches across the airstrips to stop invasion. By March or April, I'm not sure, Papua New Guinea was preparing to drop bombs on Buin, when an appeal by Father John Momas to Prime Minister Michael Samari for peace talks led to successful peace negotiations at Rovo Island in May 1976. Organic laws were written to grant provincial status to Bougainville. The province of the North Solomons negotiated to have its own House of Assembly, its own budget, elections, flag and anthem, and a premier. One must acknowledge that Bougainville has remained steadfast in its quest for independence in every trial that it has faced from that period onwards. I salute today all who remain committed to hard work, high hopes, expectations, honesty, integrity, and belief that Bougainville does have a bright future. Through 54 years of being an adopted Bougainvillian, I have never wavered in my belief that Bougainville has a just cause. But we must heed God's word and live righteously for it to be fulfilled. When we cried and sang at Burnham, "My Lord knows the way through the wilderness, all I have to do is follow," we trusted in the Lord completely, and He brought us out into all that we have today. We prayed, we sought God's leading. The Universal Declaration of Independence was carried out in a genuine act of faith and the belief that Bougainville had become of age. The flag was raised. Our prayer diaries are full of God's promises. He has delivered us continually, and my life personally is forever changed.
Witnessed the unveiling of the memorial flagpole, which the memorial location to signify the first raising of the Republic of North Solomon's flag back then on the 1st of September 1975. For those who just joined us, we had the memorial service in the morning led by Bishop Reverend Abraham Toroy. So we'll now witness the unveiling of that by the acting president, Honorable Patrick Nisra. So while that is happening, me ask him this pla 16 group lo haku, you pla ready long up lo come take him inside the states. Naba you pla performing bamboo band in the background while acting President Loimi and unveiling this important symbol. Loimi oklo racing or pilag long location where all been racing pilag long and long 1st of September 1975. So me asking me long staff on them na witnessing this occasion now. So the Caretaker Chief Secretary is Clement Tabun with the other ministers who are here. Honorable John Bosco Ragu, Honorable Amanda Masono, who is here as well, with the Commissioner for Police, CIS as well. We can walk about what them acting President is going to unveil. Thank you.
Okay. Also, acting President, marking President, the people of Bougainville. We got this honor and a privilege to unveil him this monument. Nami mas that we present day generation of leaders. We are fortunate to be here because some people have gone before us, and not only been set in this walkabout where we play long go long. So you know what? Narpla talk we just talk also mi hamamas na people blow Bougainville masamas the journey where mi oklo walk about lang one time this la me now unveil him this monument to this day patriotic day where mi king him na honor him all past leaders one time present generation of leaders na people blow Bougainville. Thank you. Minister Amanda, thank you. Welcome staff on time people believing that this particular celebration long Hutjena field. We extend this Planuk Sabbath to Golong Acting Chief Administrator, Mr. Totobun, all that are departmental head staff on time immediately. We look Sabbath to long Miss Marilyn Habini. Thank you long come staff on time thank you the story. We talking people long this day. We give him look Sabbath to long Chief long for the service. Na all that BPS na correctional service professionals bigla look sabe lo yubla we even look sabe tulong all that all media professionals tapang tabi bula here to all that students teachers long participating schools lo display occasion tete we extending display look sabe to igolong Puma combatants, BOUGAINVILLE, one time civil society organizations, church or faith-based organizations. Na generally people BOUGAINVILLE sa dikam long celebrating isla or Patriotic Day inside long Hutjena. Ibigay big planuk sabi long all the BOUGAINVILLEans sa Joglo celebrating this day the North, South, Central na tulong all the constituencies na districts inside BOUGAINVILLE. So one time this lang pamibil din speech lomi ang tap long speech Miss Marilyn Habini emi itok-tok long nabilang tokol sa story yung harap today is an inspiration story that must be told so that you will sabe long history lo you one and a half you become long. So people of BOUGAINVILLE today in this occasion we are reminded of our story, we are reminded of the journey we as BOUGAINVILLEans have taken to this far. So you will look na meeting in bed before you heard a long story today. Now, people of BOUGAINVILLE, ito again, we are reminded of our story. Now, this story was not money created. This story was created by us BOUGAINVILLEans. Inside of this political journey, there were leaders who have born before us. So they provided leadership. No, you mean, you heard it long story, long, very happening, na milat ko sa today. Me life, you be BOUGAINVILLEans, you be honor him. Now you be respect him, pay him homage, and respect long past leaders. Usa di ba karon you be, karon is fight long BOUGAINVILLE independence. Now you be younger generation of leaders, both political, na administration, you be issue lahat, na you be work long continue, long you be must find him road long issue independence from Bibla. So that the BOUGAINVILLEans, you be tingin Paul Lapun, you be tingin to Mr. Habini, you been thinking late Joseph Kabui, Chiontosin, all the Tanarka leaders who said the current is Kapaton, itang nahenabalo generation long today. As BOUGAINVILLEans, Dipla, you make him decision finish. You hurry long, today, Lord, this law about them, number one. Unilateral declaration you come up in September 1975. But story maybe amigo back yet 60s he come. Lord is think from me plan. Look come up one plan free na independent country. 1971 me plan 25 me plan declare first like unilateral declaration. Lord is fight to you. Long 1990, he got second unilateral declaration. A younger generation of leaders. May people go pass long and we declare him. Behind long and political journey from me plan. even got referendum 2019, where people of Bougainville only took out the true plan life long all. Through the free and fair referendum, through the referendum where government constitution of Papua New Guinea, you're right, I look sablongan. Na law we Bougainvilleans, we voted to be an independent people. 97.7% we play vote and we play talk. People like come up independent. That is another declaration. On top of the 75 unilateral declaration, on top of the 1990 unilateral declaration, we make another letter, a declaration which is legal under laws of Papua New Guinea. So this is our story, this is our journey. But story in a journey, and we got plenty heavy, and we got plenty challenges. You may come through them. Today we are reminded of the 10 years of a bloody civil war in Bougainville. You may look, you may think back, this was civil war. You may look back, even that blockade, not this we are reminded of that. We are reminded of war and the nature of war. You may look back, look this period. And we look at families in Bougainville have been divided, clans have been divided, destruction of public and private property have been divided. But let me remind all of us, 20,000 man too will lose first the time. When them all get another something will come up first the period of war, that is the cost of freedom. That is the cost of being, you will like in one country, the cost of freedom, the cost of being independent is high. And we enter. That's why that you become the separate, we continue to remind ourselves. We Bougainvilleans, we are very resilient people. But we like to thank you, all Bougainvilleans, through this struggle. We walk about them. We man, we play vision. So today, we like reminding me also to today we celebrate 27 years of peace on Bougainville. Start long ceasefire long 1997. We got a signing of Bougainville peace agreement in 2001. Now coming up now, we Bougainvilleans have continued to maintain and sustain peace for the last 27 years. And that is our story. We are capable. Peace, you become up in Tete. Peace, you become up one time Tete. And we don't come up nothing and we got cost long. After that civil war, after Bougainville go through this period of division, we Bougainvilleans through the spirit of peace, reconciliation, forgiveness, we play them, we play like achieving independence through peaceful means. And amazingly, Bougainvilleans, after we go through this period of division, the families from long clan from throughout Bougainville, we have decided through peace, reconciliation, and forgiveness, we come up in throughout the island after we signed the peace agreement, and what happened? We set aside the differences from now through the Bougainville referendum, you may walk about one time. You may set aside the differences from and through the Bougainville referendum, resistance, and all the citizens of Bougainville, we still voted for independence because through light, nothing from So Bougainvilleans, this last journey, we walk about long journey where peace agreement and we mapping out why we look over the national government. Now long final ratification. Final ratification long this process from we got interpretation from national government got interpretation from all it. But we Bougainvilleans, we are a resilient people. We will get through this. People go through this period. People go through long. But we like reminding people from we have seen what wars can do. We have seen the destruction side logo. Nabilang to konsep as we prepare notice the final walk about plan. We must pursue by peaceful means. You will not like him get a lost generation of Bougainville where you know that education and education long on. We will not like put him leadership there. We will not like put him you begin to go to the period of on mama or beginning the most vulnerable will again be caught up in the crossfire of violence or wars or semi-place Sabbath. So people are challenged me, put him you mean. The present day leadership, protocol leadership, and administration leadership, all past line, or leader block people, or the head of a block pattern. Let us remind ourselves the current leadership, protocol and administration, that we have a responsibility. Time of people only vote no referendum, only vote on like one independent country, 97.7%. Suppose you interpreting people hope for a better Bougainville. All money no like him, government from him plan, leadership from him plan. You mean Bougainville hope long on, desire long on. Long you mean nominate him good government. You mean look government look upon the you mean read him the paper, you mean look long situation only go through long. When we want to become independent, people are making decisions that we want to be different from Papua New Guinea. And the honest is with us the current leadership. I mean you must manage him good government from people. You must manage him not down in corruption, the protocol, the administration level. Let's give it, we owe to the people of Bougainville that we must deliver. We must make sure that we or people, you be helping people to realize in 3 months long. Now planting money on talk na Bougainville, we are not ready for independence. Or look side him, economy blah blah, which is true. But economic independence must not be used as an excuse to deny the people of Bougainville their independence. Kami talk Lodisla, be thinking back Michael Somare, kami be like come up, kami be leading people to Papua New Guinea to come up independence, or white man, or Planty Sabeman, or even talking Michael Somare Lodisla time. You like come up in country blow you yet, human resource blow you away. Sabi how Michael Somare effect him all. Long display time, Michael Somare, look na ito konsep, you look long beginning in Mary lahat. You look long mama lahat, all by creating human resource for people Papua New Guinea. Today, Papua New Guinea, Dr. Michael Somare, very prominent, they have a pool of very highly educated Papua New Guineans should have now in the country. Now you man, you are asking me black Bougainville, you know already, you know that economy blah blah. Let me remind you, this is my message to you. God has blessed us with natural resources. We have the potential only if we have the right leadership in place. You mean develop more resources for you, Bougainville, you mean by up. Economic independence, you mean by achieving long time where the future blah blah. So one time just a message. We like to thank you, all the Bougainvillians, North, South, Central. We like to thank you, we like to thank you, Bougainville Police Service now, all the line, you enforcing law inside Bougainville. We like to thank you, all churches inside Bougainville. If you ask me what we have achieved in the last 20 years, or after the signing of the peace agreement, our greatest achievement has been what we have continued to maintain and sustain peace. Now people do enjoy benefits long this peace, where you walk long, you will sustain it long time. Global peace agreement, highly acclaimed peace agreement in UN circles. Lord Narca country, all got workshop long, even in Papua New Guinea, all over the concept, Global peace agreement is the most successful peace agreement in the world. Plenty only time we sign one peace agreement by go pagarap again long after 2 or 3 years. Bougainville we have. This is the key achievement that we have. Now we work closer collectively and we work to you all Bougainvillians. So today we like remind me as we celebrate this day, Me asking you, me all kata Bougainvilleans lo, all kata, all walks of life, Bougainville future long me look good. All kata time, reminding you yet na hari good Bougainville anthem. Bougainville anthem me start lo wanem. Bougainville anthem, you miss singing na Islam word me. Start lo Bougainville anthem wanem. Yes, every time our children in primary schools, in high schools, time we sing him this Bougainville anthem. Or every time we Bougainvilleans, wherever we are, now if we sing him this Bougainville anthem, what do? We bless our island. What do? When something people make him, people bless him island, no people. Not to concept God bless our island. Now me like you mean long last Bible verse where Marilyn me talk long God me got plan. Start na finish long on gonna something God got long. Start na finish long this long. Political journey from the story from me plan. God got plan long. Now me like to concept the outcome when you be like him, impact come up here. Because every day we continue to bless the island of Bougainville through the singing the anthem from Ibla. I talk on him, God bless Bougainville. Mo yung tanda plong em, this lang time we could, this lang time we will sing national anthem from Ibla. We will talk on him, the land of the free, the land of the free. This is the proclamation, blessing from God. Now, one time we bless ourselves and we say, we are the land of the free, the land of the brave. We have fought this war. We have fought this war literally with what? With primitive weapons. We captured weapons during the war. And then we fought. Now we won the war. This is the assurance that we have as Bougainvilleans. We are a resilient people and we are not afraid to fight for what we believe is, and this is our dream. We Bougainvilleans, we want to be an independent country. We want to be an independent people and we will achieve it. What time this plan? Thank you. Now God, in blessing you me, happy celebrations.
So, one them display respect long leadership lo yumi. Me asking me all data long acknowledge him display good talk long acting president lo yumi after you acknowledge him. But me asking me lo sana delegate about you calling display main team on this day today where you can look him long program where we talk sana one bell strong in book about belong independence. Sana one bell strong in book about belong independence. Sana one bell strong in walkabout, long independence. So this plan, why you call him after you give him this plan, Bougainville clap, but talk thank you, long leader, Bloyumi, and me marking President Bloyumi. After my count, you may give him this la Bougainville clap past them. Now behind by you call him main team Bloyumi today. One Bougainville clap. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you may call him now main team long today. And me start long half, you can look him long on program. If you can, we'll try it first. And we can call them Son of One Bell, strong in about long independence. One more time, we call him Son of One Bell, strong in about long independence. I think this time too. Time we talk Son of One Bell, you may must happy money on top. Now so him this plus strong blow you me. Also picking in man na Mary blow Bougainville. Why ready listen up one them leadership blow you me. Okay, you ready? You block a tie ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Son of One Bell, strong in walk about, belong independence. One more. Son of One Bell, strong in walk about, belong independence. Thank you.